Hello, and welcome to Brew number 2 from the Brew from the Bothy podcast. It's a real tongue twister. And when I say this is Brew number 2, it kind of is, but also this is the third time I'm going to record it. So I'm not currently live with everybody. That happened yesterday. There was loads and loads of buffering, and it's just, I know I said lo-fi, but that was too lo-fi. Like, it just wasn't good enough, and I have standards. I have slight perfectionist tendencies, and it's not good enough. So then I re-recorded it this morning, again in Restream, and the same thing happened, and it just is not good enough to upload. So now I've come at it another way, and I have got a new way forward for the podcast, because I will not give up. I'm looking to my right because there's a little black cat called Pom Pom having a right old sniff about, and at some point he might scratch to be allowed back out. He's a little demon. He just loves attention. He might come and purr in the microphone at you. So how am I going to do it going forward? I'm going to record the video in the morning, and then it will go live at 1 o'clock, as in be published. And then I am going to watch it, which will absolutely give me the ick. But I'll watch it with anybody that's going to be live. So if any questions come up while the live one is going, I'll be there to answer the questions, or to give hints and tips, or just generally tell you how icky I find it looking at myself on the screen. So that's how I'm going to do the live element, which actually might work a little bit better because I can provide links and tips straight away, like really quickly, and chat with you rather than be talking like I'm delivering the podcast. So saving grace is, I think it might be slightly better, and it means that I will only have one upload, which will straight away have captions to it. That's what I'm hoping for. So this is 2.3. Let's go. It's gonna work this time. All is going to be well. I'm a positive outlook person. It's going to be fine. Let's have a slurp and get into it. So, yes, I definitely feel like I've said all of this before. What am I wearing? This is my Strata cardigan, which is a little cropped job, kind of bigger than a bolero. Works really well with jeans, but also works well with dresses, all sorts of things. Hello, you. Do not knock over my microphone. Do not press the keyboard. No. You can come down and be cuddled and loved. And it is, you'd be forgiven for thinking it's knit, and it isn't. It's crocheted, which is my speciality. When somebody goes, that's crochet, and I'm like, got ya. You thought crochet was one thing, and I can show you it's something else as well. So it's crocheted. I've made it in John Arbon Textiles worsted weight Yarnadelic, which still is my absolute favourite yarn to crochet with. It's got an amazing twist on it, and the heathering, it might not be showing up on screen, but this has got like little blips of like a really light lemony yellow to it. It's just beautiful. It's really toasty warm. So I wear this cardigan a lot when I'm like in between seasons, when it's not quite winter, not quite spring, and you just need a little bit of cosy without wearing a big bulky jumper. That's when Strata comes out to play. Or if I'm having a little chill day on the sofa watching movies in my pyjamas, Strata is what I go and wear to just give myself a little woolly hug. So I'll pop a link for this in the drop down box in YouTube in case you want to have a look at it too. That is what I'm wearing today. Now, one of the questions I had from lovely Federica was to say that they are really adept at making shawls, and they're very comfortable with that type of crocheting, but they want to move into garments, and they weren't sure about how to go out shaping or working out all of the intricacies of getting a really well fitted garment. And I went back to Federica, but I'll say it here as well because I think the information is potentially quite helpful. The best thing you can do if you're looking to make that leap into garment crocheting, or knitting I think as well, is to initially go with the designer whilst you're learning the craft of garment making. Go with the designer that knows their stuff. Like, go with somebody who's got lots of designs out there and they are well reviewed and you can see lots of projects of them, because they will have finessed the process. They'll know what they're talking about. So for instance, if you go for a big boxy design that doesn't have any shoulder shaping, there will be a load of extra material here because your shoulder slopes. I'm trying to make my shoulders the right size, but you can see how my shoulders slope. So Strata has increases coming up here to take into account that shoulder slope. That's the kind of finessing that you want in a garment, and that's kind of what you want from a designer. By and large, garment patterns are more expensive. They're usually about £7 plus, and there's a reason for that. They take a lot more work to do this finessing, to go into 9 sizes, to grade them out. Ow, kitten. Oh, that's cat claws right in my leg. Thank you. Love you. And so that's why they're a lot more detailed. So if you're going at it to begin with, one, I'll provide a link if you want to do a lot of background reading, because I'm actually going to point you to my friend Michelle, who has the Dora Does blog. Michelle has got a host of blog posts on garment making, how to do it, what to look for, and she's got loads of really good garment patterns under her belt as well. And I know for certain that she looks at things like shoulder shaping, how to do yokes properly. She's got raglan, like she's just done the lot. So I'll point you to Michelle's overarching page on her website, which then segments out all the different blog posts. Take a look at that from a crochet perspective. From a knitting perspective, I know everybody says this, but there's a reason why they say it. Go and look at what Tin Can Knits have done. Like, if you're looking to move into knitted garments, Tin Can Knits just do it really well. And again, they've got raglan, they've got yoke sweaters, they've got the lot, and there's a reason why they're a trusted resource. It's because they're really good at what they do and they keep it simple, and people love their patterns for good reason. So that's how I would transition from accessories into making your own garments. And I promise you it's worth it. Like, there is a learning curve, but there's nothing more joyous than wearing your own clothes that you've made. Like, it's lovely. This is now day 2 of wearing this, because obviously I recorded yesterday and I was like, well, dang it, I'm wearing the same thing again. I'm getting double wear out of this. Like, it feels really nice and snuggly, and like that handmade element is just really special. So hopefully I can help you transition into worn garments. Right, let's take a slurp, because this is Brew from the Bothy. I'm on coffee today because this is the 3rd recording of the podcast. So, what's been going on in Crochet Town? What have I been doing? Because I'm now recording this today rather than yesterday's, something arrived in the post. This is issue 177 of Inside Crochet. I really love working with this publication. The team is wonderful. They do amazing photography that I really love. Let me find the page. I have this shawl in it this time round. This is called the Wave Hello shawl, and it uses jumbo slub yarn, 2 skeins, and I made that in under 5 hours. So it's like, this is their weekend edition. So I took that to mean I can crochet a shawl in a weekend. 5 hours I did it in. The jumbo slub came from Amy at Mammy and Flory Yarns. I'll pop a link in for that as well, and also for digital copies of 177. Their photography is just so beautiful, but I really love, let me show you this. On this page, look, this is me and my Wave Hello, and this is my friend Heather's. I love, look at the little colour, crossover colour. It's very Ukraine support, isn't it? Yellow and blue, love it. My friend Heather, we meet every 2 weeks and we chat about design, and we sit and design either out in a country estate or we sit in a garden centre. So I love that we're both in the same magazine together. Yeah, really nice. So I'll pop a link for these bits and pieces in as well. What else has been going on in Crochet Land? Is that it? That might be it for Crochet Land. Knitting wise, last time around, I told you, well, I kind of signed myself up to getting my needles into this lovely, see, it's all about slub, into this lovely slub yarn. This is Dumfanaghy, I think is the name of the colourway. It's by Tara at Irish Artisan Yarns, and this is a 90% superwash merino, 10% nylon slub. And Dumfanaghy is an area in Ireland just on the Donegal border, apparently. Thank you, Marilyn, for telling me that. And I think I said last time that Tara's inspiration is often like Irish landscape and the colours. I'm imagining like the cliffs at sunset with this one. Now, what I was hoping was going to happen has happened. Let me just pull this right up close, which is that if you purl, when you come to a slub, it pops the purl out. So hence, this is the Purl Pop Cowl. What a clever bit of naming that is. I am about 2/3 of the way through this, maybe 3/4. So this will be off my needle by next time. And my plan is that this is one of the bits of warm woolly goodness that I will be wearing on our big walk on the West Highland Way. So this is going to get a lot of use. In my head I've got like beautiful photography of me walking through Glencoe at sunset wearing the Purl Pop Cowl. We'll see if that happens or not. I'll definitely be wearing it. The question is whether we're there at sunset and whether it's absolutely like chalking it down because it's Scotland in April. We'll see. Who knows? The long range weather forecast is too far out yet for me to take any stock by it. So what I'm going to do though with this pattern, this is so simple, this pattern. I'm going to put this out in a slightly different manner. So I will create a PDF for it and it will be on my website, but it will be for free. And when I say for free, it's never free, is it? Because eventually I will have advertising on my website. So free just means that you're not parting with any money for it, but you might be advertised at, or you might need to give me your email address, and that's the payoff. But I'm thinking the bit that's going to be different is what is going to be different is that I'm also going to do this as a fully tutorial pattern on YouTube. I'm really loving YouTube at the moment. It actually feels like a positive space compared to what's going on with Instagram and Facebook. So I'm just ploughing a lot of my effort into YouTube because there's an actual community here and I love it. And yeah, it just feels a bit special again, which is really nice. So I'm going to plough more stuff into YouTube because why wouldn't I? So this will go up as a totally accessible YouTube video, captioned tutorial taking you through all the stages. It's such a simple pattern, and there will be like a little weight measurement. So if you're doing this size cowl, you need to keep back this percentage of your yarn to finish it up at the top. So you can use almost every last bit of the skein, which is what I really like in my patterns. I'm not a big fan of having loads of bits of yarn left over. So I really love patterns where you can use up almost every last drop of your yarn. So this will be off my needles, and then who knows when the actual video will be live, hopefully soon, but April's just a bit of a full-on month, so I'm not quite sure what's going to happen and what I'll be able to get through in April. I have a naughty little cat who just wants to create trouble. Now he wants to cough at you. He's quite the boy. Thank you. Now, I've just remembered, let me take a slurp. Can you hear that? I think my cat might be ever so slightly allergic to yarn. Hello, you. And I do love my cat a lot, but I also love my yarn, so I'm not willing to get rid of yarn. He'll survive, it'll be fine. I have just remembered that there was another crochet thing, because I was asked by Elaine, who is a long-term knitter, what I would suggest as a first crochet project to get her going. Come on then, you. Shall I just get rid of a cat? Come on, quickly, I'll be back. Come on, you. Scoot. Scoot. I'm back. He's gone. He'll come and claw on the door. I give it 2 minutes, but he's not getting back in. So Elaine is a long-term knitter and has been inspired to come to crochet, which I love. That I'm not a fan of when the two crafts are put head to head. I don't think that's fair. They both absolutely occupy their own spaces, and there are some beautiful crossovers that can happen. I don't see any reason why they have to be pitted against each other, but I do love it when a knitter comes to crochet. And Elaine was asking what I would suggest as a first time project, and at the risk of like tooting my own horn and just talking about my own stuff, I would suggest the Drusilla shawl for a few reasons. One, I have just updated the pattern. It's just had a glow up. So I've redone all the charts for it, which is, you know, I spent a long time, about a year ago, really getting to grips with how to write crochet charts, because it's skilled, it's really skilled. There are not a lot of people globally that write crochet charts professionally. And I don't want to pay for it because that's a huge cost on patterns. So I really went to town learning how to do my own. So in this glow up, I have just recharted it all. So from a practical point of view, you can read the instructions and you can look at the chart. So if you're new to it, you've got like a double visual on how to make the thing. The other reason I'm suggesting it for Elaine is because it doesn't depend on loads of chains to start off. And when you're new to crocheting, I have a suspicion that working into those chains to begin with is actually not that helpful, because chains are really delicate compared to some of the rest of the crochet that you do, and if you get it into the wrong place or if you twist it, it can be a real deal breaker on a project. Whereas I think Drusilla just starts with 5 chains, and because you're working from the point up the way, if you make a mistake, it really doesn't matter. Like, it just doesn't matter. You can rip it out quickly and you can start again, but also because it's lacy, it's quite a forgiving fabric if you wash and block it, and so long as you've got fabric that you really like, it doesn't matter if your tension is a little bit out. It's a really forgiving shawl. And the other reason I'm suggesting it is because you will learn increases, but it is essentially just the same stitch repeat. It's a treble, a chain and a treble, and then when you come to the next row, you're working into that chain space that has been created by the treble, the chain and the treble. So it's really easy to know where to place your hook. It's not a trip up pattern or design. And whilst it does have this little frilly, almost like butterfly wing borders to it, you don't have to add that. So you could just keep to, I'm going to say the raw edge again, but it's not raw, it's not like unkempt looking. But if you didn't want to add the frill border, you don't have to. I personally would, because I think it really sets it off, especially at the bottom where you do a double butterfly wing. But you can keep on going. So if you're smaller, you can stop when you've got a wingspan that you're happy with. I did this one in a 4-ply and I made it massive because I just love it. This was 200 grams, but you can also make it in lace weight and in DK as well as 4-ply. And if you want, you can do all of your increases and then start to decrease to make a diamond shape that you can double over and wear like a hat. So it's a really versatile pattern. So that's my recommendation. For all those reasons, I would go to Drusilla, and it's just comfy and lovely. Love it. Right, now I'm done with crochet. One final thing that I want to tell you about now that I've just bashed the microphone. Let me have a slurp first. 2 weeks ago, I was talking about all of the floof that I already owned. And then I wanted to get one more floof in that I'd come across. It felt really luxurious. My friend Sam gave me this little bow tie. This is tussock silk, which came from Purl Soho in America when she was on a trip over there, and this is what Sam had left over, and she gave it to me for this segment, for this set of blog posts I'm doing on floof and mohair and alpaca yarns. And it is so luxurious, but I wanted to see if there was a more affordable price point that was very similar, and so I wanted to order in some onion, which is silk and kid mohair, and it's got a really nice, so it's 60% super kid mohair, 40% silk, which is not dissimilar to tussock. So I just wanted a little feel by feel comparison. The problem is I went onto the Linda Hobby website and they had so much floof, like so much, that I ended up ordering not just this but another 9 different types of floof. Now hear me out, I have good reason for this. I was filling in gaps. So floof tends to happen in 3 different blends. You have got mohair, and it can be 100% mohair coming down with a reduced percentage of mohair in there, usually an increase in silk, sometimes wool, to make a different blend, which then can make it more affordable because mohair is a luxury fibre. The other segment that you get is alpaca. So like this chaos yarn is actually 100% organic alpaca, but it's been brushed, and that's what's giving it this halo. And then with the alpaca again, because it is quite a luxurious fibre, it's more affordable than mohair, I think. But it comes down in those blends to different amounts. And then you have, where is it? I've got one which is, it's one that I don't own yet that I might have to buy as well, which is Sofio by Lang, which is predominantly cotton, wool and 10% cashmere. Now I know some people really struggle with mohair and alpaca and the fibres and the toothiness of them, and might also struggle with cashmere, but I would have a look at that Sofio one because it might just fill that gap for you, because it still has that halo effect, which is really what you're looking for floof. Usually you're looking for the halo. Sometimes you might want that luster in it that the silk is going to bring, but really it's this fuzziness that is what a floof is bringing to the party. So I ordered lots of others. I got some Katia 50 mohair shades. This one I love. This is Lang Zen, which is 35% merino, 35% not Morocco, alpaca. I don't know where that came from. And 30% silk. Really nice. This one I got just to test, and I actually really don't like it. It might work out better, but although it's called Delhi mohair, it's actually 40% wool, 50% acrylic, 10% mohair, and you can feel the acrylic in it. I'm not a fan, but it's very floofy, and it is the most affordable of all of the floofs that I found, and that is because of the acrylic content. That is why. And one more I want to show you, because honestly, if you could see to the left of me, there is just a sea of floof happening over there. This one is so cool. I just fell in love with it. It's called Natural Super Kid Tweed, and it's by Lana Grossa, and it has neps in it. Like, I got one with what looked like little pops of neon and mauve in there. Totally different. I've not seen a floof like this before, and I was intrigued by it. And this, I think I have a pattern that I want to make with this. But the blend is 60% mohair, 30% silk, 7% cotton, 3% polyester. And I'm wondering if it's either going to be the cotton or the polyester that is making up the neps. I don't know which, I can't tell on percentage terms, but a really interesting looking yarn. Looking forward to getting into that. So what I've done is I have compiled all of these different floofs into a blog post which I'll provide below. So if you're looking for a different blend, basically I've pulled all the information together for you, and it gives you in a table mohair all in one table, alpaca all in one table, and then others are slightly higher wool content over alpaca and mohair in case they're your issue. They, apart from one, they do all have cashmere in them though, but in quite low percentages. So you can look and see who the supplier is, and I've linked them out so that you can go direct to their websites. It was a lot of work to do all of this. It was worth it though. The name of the yarn, the supplier, how many grams, meters, yards is for each kind of bit of them. And then what else did I look at? A cost per 100 meters, because I thought that would be quite interesting. And then you can see where your price point is from cheapest to most expensive. How many shades you get for those yarns, because if you're trying to colour match and hold it double with another yarn, this is not a good example. Let me hold this one up. If you're trying to colour match with another yarn, you need quite a large colour palette to go at, and lots of them have got 25 plus shades available. And then the final thing that I looked at was country of origin, because I like to buy local whenever I can, or as close to home as I can. So all of that information for all of the floof that I currently have, and a few more, is in that blog post. So you can just go and look at the blends, and you don't have to do a massive internet search to try and find a blend that would work for you and a price point that would work for you with the number of shades that you need. I've done it all. I'll pop it in the drop down link. A couple of things I want to add to that, because I was asked, what if you don't like alpaca or mohair or cashmere, what else can you do? And one of the things I think you can do, but I need to do a bit more research, but I will link to somebody who has done some research on it, is to actually brush up the finished item. That basically kind of a bit like pilling, but in a more strategic way, will brush up and bring all the fibres up to the front of the fabric. I'm not sure if it works at everything. That's why I need to do a bit of digging on that, but that might be one way around it. The thing with that though is you could make something beautiful and then try to brush it up to get the halo, and it might not work because of the blend, because of the twist on it. I don't know. So there's a risk involved with that. The other suggestion I have, if you want to hold double and get a halo type effect, is to look for a lace weight wool based yarn that has a halo to begin with. So something like, this is John Arbon Appledore lace weight. It has fibres, flyaway fibres. It has a toothiness to it that will only bloom further. The more you wear it, the more you use it. So if you hold this double with another yarn, that is going to keep on becoming more and more fibrous, and you'll get a little bit of that haloed effect. It's never going to be the same as using a mohair or an alpaca, because the fibres are different, the twist is different, everything's different about it. But you could try something like that, or look for, this is Teeswater, which has got a great luster on it, and again you can see all of the flyaway fibres in that skein. So something like Teeswater or Wensleydale will do the same thing. Look for your specific breeds of sheep in fibre form, in lace weight, and you can get a similar look. It's not going to be exactly the same. The other one that I've got for you, which won't be everybody's cup of tea because of the way that you get possum, but this is possum, which again is lace weight, it is warm, it's got flyaway fibres on it, it's toothy, but it's a little bit more luxurious like some of the other floofs are. So there are other options for you, but basically you're looking for specific sheep breeds or very toothy lace weight fibres, and that should do it for you. Right, I think I am done. One final thing that I want to say is just to say thank you so much for everybody who really was very encouraging about the fact that I've come back to podcasting. It has been a real top up over the last couple of weeks to find community again, and to know that there are folks out there that are enthused by knitting and crochet and yarn and want to keep in touch, and it has been wonderful and joyous, so thank you very much. Right, I'm going because I now need to add captions and finally get this re-uploaded. I am waving. Thank you. See you soon. Bye bye.